Haitian President Jovenel Moise killed by group claiming to be DEA agents. Haitian President Jovenel Moise was assassinated and his wife wounded by a group of gunmen at their home Wednesday, Interim President Minister Claude Joseph announced, and assailants reportedly claimed to be DEA agents. An unidentified group of individuals, some of whom were speaking Spanish, attacked the private residence of the President of the Republic and mortally wounded him, Joseph said in a statement. Primary languages in the impoverished Caribbean nation of more than 11 million people, some 675 miles southeast of Miami, are French and Haitian Creole. Joseph said he was now in charge of the country. The gunmen claimed to be agents with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the Miami Herald reported. But sources told the newspaper that the assailants, one of whom spoke English with an American accent, were not with the American agency, which did not immediately respond to a request to comment by the Post. They were mercenaries, a high-ranking Haitian government official told the Herald. In a statement, Joseph said First Lady Martine Moise was wounded by a bullet and necessary measures are being taken. He added the security situation of the country is under control of the Haitian National Police and the Haitian Armed Forces. All measures are being taken to guarantee the country, the continuity of the state, and to protect the nation. Democracy and the Republic will triumph. Moise, 53, and his wife were attacked about 1 a.m. local time at their Port-au-Prince residence, said Joseph, who condemned what he called assailants' hateful, inhumane, and barbaric act. Videos taken by the people in the area, his home in the neighborhood of Perlin 5 above the hills in the capital, suggested that the assailants claimed to be DEA agents. The Miami Herald reported, DEA operation, everybody stand down, DEA operation. Everybody back up, stand down. Someone within the American accent is heard saying in English over a speaker, the news outlet reported. Residents reported hearing high-powered rounds being fired and seeing black-clad men running through the neighborhoods, according to the Herald, which also cited reports of an exploding grenade and drones buzzing overhead. The U.S. is assessing the horrific this tragic attack, and President Biden will be briefed on the assassination, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said on MSNBC. We will be held in any way to the people of Haiti. This is kind of hard to believe about Biden. If you could look it up, actually you will fit that he said that the Haitians would be better if they sunk into the sea and wouldn't be anybody else's problem. He has said that. There's an investigation, but we're still assessing it right now. We're still gathering information. The president, of course, will be briefed by his national security team this morning, she said. In an interview on CNN, Psaki said, we stand ready and stand by them to provide any assistance that is needed. It is important that people of Haiti know that. The U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince posted a security alert citing an ongoing security situation and said the embassy would close all services, CBS News reported. The alert also warned people to avoid unnecessary travel in Haiti for the time being. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson reacted to the attack on Twitter and sent his condolences to Haiti. I'm shocked and saddened at the death of President Moise, Johnson wrote. This is an abhorrent act, and I call for calm at this time. Colombia President Ivan Duque called on the Organization of the American States to send an urgent mission to Haiti to protect the democratic order in the country, Reuters reported. We reject the vile assassination of the Haitian President Jovenel Moise. Duque wrote on Twitter. It was a cowardly act of barbarity against the entire Haitian people. The Haitian people wanted him to leave. They didn't want him to stay. They wanted him to leave. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said in a tweet that his country strongly condemns the assassination. Our condolences to his family and our solidarity with the Haitian people. We call for the unity of the political forces to find a way out of this serious crisis that the country experiences, he wrote. Meanwhile, the government of the Dominican Republic ordered the immediate closure of its border with Haiti. The border closure was effective immediately. The communications officer of the Defense Ministry, Ciente Sanchez, told AFP. President Luis Abinader of the Dominican Republic condemned the assassination. This crime undermines the democratic order of Haiti and the region. Our condolences to his family and the Haitian people, he said, according to the Miami Herald. Haiti's Toussaint International Airport has been closed in the aftermath of the attack. Why? Smith Augustin, the country's ambassador to the Dominican Republic, told CNN in a WhatsApp message on Wednesday. The street prints were largely empty early Wednesday, though some people ransacked businesses in one area, the Associated Press reported. Why would you want to close the airport? The brazen attack happened a day after Moise named a new Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, to prepare the nation for elections in the next 2 months for president, new parliament, and local government officials. The thing is, though, the U.S. government has always its hands in these countries, all right? And they're always playing around with the elections, and they have puppets as leaders in these countries, and these puppets do what the American government wants at the expense of the people of these third world countries. Okay, I'll read some things more about this Mr. Moise. Okay. The killings come amid deepening political and economic stability and a spike in gang violence in the poorest country in the Americas. Moise, who entered office in 2017, had been ruling by decree since January 2020 after legislative elections due in 2018 were delayed in the wake of disputes, including over when his term ends, according to the Agence France Presse. Opposition leaders have accused Moise of seeking to increase his power, including approving a decree that limited the powers of the court that audits government contracts, and another that created an intelligence agency controlled by the president. Opposition leaders have demanded that he step down, arguing that his term legally ended in February. Moise and supporters maintained that his term began when he took office in 2017. Following a chaotic election that forced the appointment of the provisional leader to serve during a year-long gap, he faced steep opposition from large segments of the population that deemed his mandate illegitimate, and he churned through 7 prime ministers in 4 years. Joseph was supposed to be replaced this week after only 3 months in the post. In addition to presidential, legislative, and local elections, Haiti was due to have a constitutional referendum in September after it was postponed twice due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Supported by Moses, the text of the constitutional reform has been overwhelmingly rejected by the opposition and many civil society groups. The current constitution, which was written in 1987 after the fall of the Duvalier dictatorship, declares that any popular consultation aimed at modifying the constitution by referendum is formally prohibited. The nation of more than 11 million people had grown increasingly unstable and disgruntled under the late president's rule. Its economic, political, and social wars have deepened, with gang violence spiking heavily in Port-au-Prince, inflation spiraling, and food and fuel becoming scarcer at times. In a country where 60% of the population makes less than $2 a day. These troubles came as Haiti still tries to recover from the devastating 2010 earthquake and the Hurricane Matthew that swept through 2016. In addition to the political crisis, kidnappings for ransom have spiked in the recent months, further reflecting the growing influence of armed gangs in the country, which also faces chronic poverty and recurrent natural disasters. U.S. Representative Andy Levine, Democrat, Michigan, who co-chairs the House Haiti Caucus and his member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, offered his condolences and said he was praying for the swift recovery of Martin Moses after the heinous act, the Herald reported. Wonder why they were sent there. I wonder why. He called on the White House to pursue a new policy toward Haiti that puts the will and the well-being of the Haitian people first. The murder of Jovenel Moise is a devastating, if not shocking, example of the extent to which the security situation in Haiti has unraveled, he said. For months, violent actors have terrorized the Haitian people with impunity, while the international community, the United States included, I fear, has failed to heed their cries to change course and support a Haitian-led democratic transition, Levin said. It is essential to bring about true peace and security and preventing more atrocities like that which occurred this morning, he added. I'm being honest, I think he did something that the U.S. government didn't like, and that's why he got murdered. Okay, he already was corrupt. Okay, there already has been allegations that he has been supplying gangs to as his type of as his, how do I say it, as his type of Gestapo. All right, there's been reports of that. Judge Jean Wilner Morin, president of the National Association of Haitian Judges, told CNN that the line of succession in the country is now murky. The president of the country's Supreme Court would normally be next in line, but he recently died of COVID-19, the network reported. For Joseph to formally replace Moise, he would have to be approved by Parliament, Morin told CNN. But without recent elections, the Parliament is effectively defunct. There is no constitutional answer to this situation, Bernard Gossi, a former justice minister and legal expert, told the Miami Herald. I don't know what to tell you, man, because the fact of the matter is it just seems that this guy was corrupt and the U.S. government wanted to take care of him. He wasn't doing their bidding. Something went wrong. Something went down that was not that got somebody upset in the U.S. government. Okay. Something went down like that. Something went down. I'll read you something else. Okay, here we are. Okay. The Free Haiti movement is trending. This was an article. Let's see. All right. Yep. March 14th, 2021. All right. See, the Haitian people were getting fed up with them. All right. As Haitians continue to denounce President Jovenel Moise's regime, the push for the leader's resignation has grown daily since February, according to Democracy Now! American celebrities and regular folks alike are speaking out for citizens of the Caribbean and island nation. Okay. Here's one a tweet from a person that's for Free Haiti. A delegate official raped a minor of 15 years old. Nothing was done on her behalf. A baby of 5 years was kidnapped and killed. Still no justice. Women are being raped and killed. Still no justice. The people are asking that the government be held accountable. We want justice for Haiti. So this was going on under his rule, under Moise' rule. Okay, the president The president, who is supported by the United States and the United Nations, is being accused of turning Haiti's democracy into a self-serving dictatorship. At the same time, citizens languish in poverty and surges of violence. A protester from Port-au-Prince gave Democracy Now! A strong message about Western interference and the president. We, the young people, are the path of liberation of Haiti. We will continue fighting until we regain sovereign status, because we know that it is Americans, foreign powers, the Organization of American States, and the UN who are supporting President Jovenel Moïse. See what I'm saying? It is they who support these thieves. The Freedom Fighter Express. I sent a message to Joe Biden and to them. I know that our resources interest them, but we will continue fighting to regain our sovereignty. Moïse was elected as president in November 2016. Since his role as Haiti's leader began, Moïse has been embroiled in scandal and accusation of corruption amid promises to better the nation's economy and infrastructure. Reuters reported in 2019 that Moïse rejected claims of being corrupt, as calls for his resignation rocked the administration. Before he became president, he was a businessman who grew bananas with no political experience. The U.S. government had a hand in this. You pick somebody who has no experience running a government, only to be a puppet, only to exacerbate and drive these people into the ground, and to line the pockets of politicians. According to the Miami Herald, that inexperience and lack of accountability attributed to millions of dollars disappearing, money allotted for post-earthquake construction and road projects that completed. A final nail in the corruption accusations coffin was at more than $2 billion in petrodollars from the Venezuela Carib Petro Finance project, embezzled by various Haitian administrators, past and present. Haiti is the most impoverished nation in the Western Hemisphere and has a devastating history of U.S. political interference. My. Okay. This man, if not, he was not going to get a bullet from the American government. He was going to get a bullet from his own people. Either way, he was getting a bullet. Okay? Either way, he was going to get a bullet. Because the people suffering, you playing around with the money. You playing around with the money. Okay? And people got tired of his mess. All right? I'll read you another article right now. This one is the proof that I was saying about the gangs. So it kind of, goes into conspiracy theories. People are going to say that, but it's the truth. It is the truth. All right. This man did things for his people, to his people, and something happened. Maybe the U.S. government didn't have any use for him. That's the thing. He was a puppet, and he did whatever he wanted to do, and he was protected until they had no use for him. So here's something else he did. Let me see. Can you see me? Yes, you can see me. All right. Again, Haiti's opposition claims Moïse should have stepped down on 7th of February to coincide with the 5th anniversary of 2015 elections that were canceled and then rerun a year later because of allegations of fraud. They alleged that because Moïse failed to hold the legislative elections in 2019, he violated the country's 1987 constitution. Supporters rejected that argument, saying he only took power in 2017 after winning the rerun. No, it was 2016. All right. Instability has been exacerbated by the Carib scandal, petrodollar scandal I told you about, controversy that arose from a scheme to buy discounted oil from Venezuela on cheap credit. The idea was to free up funds for social schemes, but the money was pocketed by politicians. Okay. Earlier this year, amid allegations mostly of a coup attempted that planned to murder him and fresh protests, he moved to protect his position, ordering the arrest of 23 people, including Supreme Court and a senior police official, while declaring he was not a dictator. You've been doing things for people to hate you. You did things to the people, and the people are going to turn on you, from whether the poorest man in the field to the man in a suit. Opponents had also accused Morsi's government of fueling political violence by providing gangs with guns and money to intimidate his adversaries. The Caribbean country, the world's first black republic after its revolution against French rule, has a history of marked by poverty, authoritarianism, rule, political instability, and external interference, including a long U.S. occupation. It has struggled to rebuild since a devastating earthquake in 2010 and Hurricane Matthew in 2016. All right. So there you go. There you go. You find out why this man, the Haitian people hate him, and the U.S. government had a hand in his murder. Okay. He will not be missed. I don't think these people are going to miss him. All right. Tell me what you think. If you're from Haiti, if you are Haitian, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think about this person. What do you know about this situation? All right. Later.